everybody, and welcome back to the Stage Dive Podcast. My name is Steve, and today we have an album review. Suicide Silence, Become the Hunter. SS, known as Suicide Silence, are a deathcore act from Riversdale, California, from the US of A. Their newest record came out on February 14th, 2020, on Valentine's Day, under the label known as Nuclear Blast. Great label. The personnel on this record consists of Chris Garza on rhythm guitar, Mark Mark Hillman on lead guitar, Alex Lopez on drums, Dan Kenny on bass, and Hermina, also known as Eddie, on vocals. I'm going to dive into the cover of the album real quick. It consists of Death holding his scythe and ready to slice up some humans. How cheesy can I be? Side note, in Greek mythology, Death is known as Thanatos, who is the son of Nyx, the goddess of night, and the son of Erebos, which is the god of darkness. He also has a twin brother known as Hypnos, which means sleep. Now the reason why I brought this up, I have a little perm muffin, and her name is Nyx, because, she's gray and a bit of white, just like night. Get it? Okay, moving on. On the record cover, it has the number 6 in Roman numerals, which could be a relation to the number of hell, or just the fact that they're releasing their 6th studio album. There are 3 snakes on the cover, and usually snakes symbolize life changes or death, and in this particular case it seems like it's representing death. Now, there's also a red string on the scythe. The red string can have various meanings. That particular string could symbolize blood or the Pentecost, or both. In certain cultures and religions, death is viewed as an angel. Is he considered a Holy Spirit? If yes, therefore Pentecost, and he has the red string, it represents blood. Okay? The thing is, the red string is usually wrapped around the left wrist for other points of symbolism, but in this particular case, it's wrapped around the scythe. The scythe is held in Death's right hand, but the blade is pointing towards the left. So symbolically, it's representing the left side. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this part up is that I actually study classical civilization. A lot of our teachers mention that even though certain symbolic material is not placed in the correct location, but there's hints leading towards the right spot, technically it is. Death himself is wrapped in an old-looking cloak, and he's obviously portrayed as a skeleton, and the skeleton, the actual skull, looks like he's smiling. And there's also animal skulls on his shoulders, as well as dead branches near his ears. I'm not going to get into too much detail now about that representation. I also want to mention that Death is holding a tarot card on his left hand, which seems to be a picture of himself. In this piece of art, Death is smiling. It could represent his passion of soul-taking. Now, before we jump into the actual song reviews, I want to explain how I rank albums. So each track is rated out of 1. I rank it by quarters, and I tally up the points and divide it by how many tracks there are, and voila, you get your score. You get a nice little percentage. So let's dive right into it. Meltdown is the first track. It is an instrumental. It's about a 2-minute intro. It's a good way to open up the album. It reminds me of a continuation of the March to the Black Crown, which is an older song off the Black Crown record. It could, I'm not saying it is, it could be a statement that they will still include new metal in their composition. Anyways, this intro track, I gave it a 0.5 out of 1. Two Steps is the second track. Kicks off with a classic SS feel. This song feels like it's meant to please the OG fans. Does have a mix of new metal. It's a bit faint. The bridge and the transitions are on par. It's pretty much a heavy song for the pits. Lyrically, an individual is asking for death to take his life. The song got a 0.5 out of 1 as well. Third track, Feel Alive. Slightly energetic, with again a new metal feel. It seems like I'm going to be mentioning new metal a lot because that seems like what's been happening with Suicide Silence. The chorus is definitely face peeling, a lot of aggression, but the song is quite repetitive. It has a similar format to Two Steps. Solo fits in well with the drums, but it's not a song that I would like to listen to often. Lyrically, how death enjoys to take the life from a human. So the song got a 0 out of 1 for me. Fourth track, Love Me to Death. Good intro with some good gutters. Love the guitar work, again, very new metal. I do enjoy when Eddie hits those highs, especially when he sings Love Me to Death. I find that the highs in the song actually make it stand out. Good drum work, a lot of repetitiveness though. Lyrics. Feels like a person is mentally abused and neglected. In the end, they have a mental breakdown and goes on a killing spree. I could be wrong because apparently there's a music video to it. I didn't watch it. I actually stopped watching music videos, but we're not going to get into that now. The song got a 0.5 out of 1. In Hiding is the following track. It reminds me of an extension to Love Me to Death. It is quite a mosh song though. I like how Eddie transitions his vocal abilities throughout the song. And again, this song is meant to please the old school fans. So I get two different types of perspectives on this track. One from Death's perspective. He gets into the person's head and watches them die. And from the person's perspective, the individual craves to murder. 0.5 out of 1.